Are you looking for the best cameras for wildlife photography? In this video we will look at some of the 7 best camera on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. Nikon D850 FX Format DSLR. The Nikon D850 FX Format DSLR is my top pick as the best camera for wildlife photography on the market. It has a 45.7 megapixel MP backside illuminated BSI CMOS image sensor. This cutting-edge sensor is super efficient at collecting light and yields sharp, detailed, colorful images. The camera's ISO range is 64 to 25,000 native ISO and can be expanded to 32 to 120,400 extended ISO. I'll explain what those terms mean below, but in brief, the native ISO range is much more important than the extended range. The autofocus works down to -4 EV. What all this means in practical terms is that this model takes superb photos even in low light conditions with minimal noise, graininess. Featuring 153 focus points, the autofocus system is extremely good, allowing you to focus with lightning speed even on moving subjects. The Nikon D850's silent shooting mode is a useful feature for wildlife photography, allowing you to capture photos quietly without disturbing your subjects. Plus, the tilting LCD touchscreen makes it easier to take photos from awkward angles. The durable camera body is sealed for protection against dust and moisture, another important consideration for wildlife photography. Using Nikon SnapBridge app, you can transfer your photos to your smartphone or tablet for easy sharing. Overall, I feel this is the best camera for wildlife photography. If you're looking for near flawless detail and crystal clear images, this is the best wildlife camera that is worth a serious look. In addition, the autofocus locks on very quickly, and I'm a fan of the touchscreen, which I found responsive and easy to use. Number 2. Nikon D5 DSLR 20.8 MP point-and-amp shoot digital camera. The Nikon D5 is straight up amazing. It's a close runner-up for the best wildlife camera, and it boasts a 20.8 MP FX format CMOS sensor and a 153-point autofocus system. The sensor design, autofocus, and image processing are all top-rate and work together to produce stunning images. Its autofocus is truly a thing of beauty, fast and accurate no matter what you're shooting. This model might just be the best camera for wildlife photography because it does extremely well under low light conditions, with an ISO capability from 100 up to 102,400, which can be extended to a whopping 3,280,000. Where you might have relied on flash before, you can now go without. This camera can capture superb images in dim conditions with no flash, while minimizing noise. You'll also enjoy very fast continuous shooting at 12 frames per second, so if your subjects are in motion, you won't miss that perfect moment. This wildlife camera has a durable magnesium alloy body with weather sealing, so it's resistant to challenging weather conditions. There's a 3.2-inch touchscreen LCD monitor. In all, it's an amazingly well-designed model that is very user-friendly once you've got the hang of it. My favorite element of this camera is quite simply its quality, especially when it comes to the autofocus and the ISO capabilities. All these advantages do come at a fairly steep cost. However, if it's within your budget, the Nikon D5 DSLR is absolutely worth a look if you want the best camera for wildlife photography. Number 3. Sony A73 Full-Frame MILC. The Sony A7 is a mirrorless interchangeable lens camera, MILC, which sets it apart from the DSLRs on this list. I'll discuss the differences in more detail below. One major feature of MILCs is that they tend to be lighter and more compact due to the lack of mirror. The Sony A73 weighs 1.44 pounds, which makes it one of the lighter options here. If you're hoping to take your camera on long backpacking trips, you may prefer having less weight to lug around, so a MILC fits the bill perfectly. This might be your best camera for wildlife photography choice if you demand incredibly image stabilization. Its inbuilt stabilization, steady shot, helps keep your images crisp and clear even if the camera shifts as you're shooting, for example, if you're walking, in windy conditions, and so on. The Sony A7 III has an excellent 24.3 MP CMOS sensor. With a standard ISO range of 100 to 51,200, which can be expanded to 50 to 2,048,000 in 7. This camera performs very well under low-light conditions and can handle a high ISO setting without generating tons of noise. This wildlife photography camera offers fast continuous shooting at 10 frames per second. It also has a great autofocus system with 693 phase detection autofocus points to ensure that your photos are sharp and focused. Plus, it has a long battery life. The Sony A73 is a wonderful mirrorless option if you're looking for the best camera for wildlife photography at a competitive price. Number 4. Panasonic Lumix GH5 Digital MILC Camera. The second mirrorless option on my list, the Panasonic Lumix GH5 combines great image quality with a rugged exterior. This is the best camera for wildlife photography that can survive any weather condition. It features a magnesium alloy body, is freeze-proof down to -10 degrees, and it is fully weather-sealed to protect against water splashes, dust, and humidity. In addition, the Panasonic includes an image stabilization system to correct for body and lens shake and minimize blur. This model has a 20.3 MP digital live MOS sensor and a fast and effective autofocus system. It offers good low-light performance. I've also had good results from its 4K video recording, which is smooth and has great continuous autofocus. One final area where this camera shines, its continuous shooting speed. Set to 6K photo mode, this model can capture images at an astonishing 30 frames per second. 4K photo mode enables speeds of 60 frames per second. So, if you want to capture super fast motion, say, a cheetah on the run or a bird in flight, this camera excels at freezing every moment. Another one of the best wild camera models available right now. Number 5. Canon EOS 7D Mark II DSLR Camera. One of the best qualities of the Canon EOS 7D Mark II is its 65-point autofocus system, which is top-notch and flexible, making it quite easy to focus on fast-moving subjects. This might just be the best camera for wildlife photography if you anticipate photographing moving subjects, whether the wildebeest migration, a pair of bear cubs playing, or a sports game. It is excellent for bird photography and will provide crisp, detailed images of birds in flight. The camera features a 20.2 MP CMOS APS-C sensor. It has an ISO range of 100 to 16,000 and performs well in low light. Its maximum frame rate is high 10 frames per second, allowing fast continuous shooting. This wildlife camera also produces high-quality video. Its magnesium alloy body is durable and has excellent weather sealing, so it holds up well in difficult weather conditions, from rain and humidity to dust. This durability makes the Mark II a fantastic field camera, and one of the best wildlife camera models to take along on rugged camping trips and long days on safari. The 3-inch LCD is good, but is not a touchscreen. Battery life is decent, but not the best, so I recommend a battery grip if you'll be shooting all day. Overall, the Canon EOS 7D Mark II is among the more affordable on my list. It's one of the best cameras for wildlife photography that will have you capturing stunning wildlife shots without breaking the bank. Number 6. Sony Alpha A7300 Mirrorless Digital Camera. Our third and final mirrorless model, the Sony Alpha A7300 has a 24.2 MP APS-C XMR sensor and a fast autofocus system thanks to its 425 phase detection autofocus points. Its standard ISO range reaches up to 25,600, expandable to 51,200, so this is another camera that will serve you well in the dim light of the early morning or evening. The Sony Alpha A7300 features an in-body image stabilization system that ensures your images stay clear even if there's a little camera shake. This is a useful feature if, for example, you're trying to fire off a quick opportunistic shot while you're still walking or your safari vehicle is still moving. This camera is capable of 11 frames per second continuous shooting speed, which is fast enough to freeze fast-moving animals in action. It has a 2.95-inch LCD touchscreen. The camera's compact and durable magnesium alloy body is sealed against dust and moisture. Its weight, including batteries, is about 1 pound, which makes the Sony Alpha A7300 a light and compact option. Competitively priced and one of the best wildlife camera models that is well suited for wildlife, sports, and action shots. Number 7. Nikon D7200 DX Format DSLR. The Nikon D7200 has a 24.2 MP DX format CMOS image sensor and a 51-point autofocus system that is effective even in low light, down to -3 EV. Like the Nikon D500 listed above, this model has a DX format sensor, which is smaller than Nikon's FX format sensor, as seen in the Nikon D850 that tops this list. The DX sensor has a 1.5x crop factor and allows for a smaller, more compact camera at a lower price point than the larger FX sensor. The Nikon D7200 has a 6 frames per second continuous shooting capacity. This isn't the fastest speed out there, but it should suffice for most wildlife photography. The ISO ranges from 100 to 25,600. There's also built-in Wi-Fi and near-field communication, NFC. Weighing in at 1.5 pounds, this camera is a good-sized, not too heavy. The Nikon D7200 also offers great battery life, which is a major plus on long days shooting outside. This is a superb entry-level DSLR for photographers who demand for professional quality at an affordable price. This is the best camera for wildlife photography to buy on a budget.